As we celebrate International Women's Day, we put the spotlight on Indian women in smaller cities breaking the corporate ceiling. A new report by APNA.co reveals a remarkable surge in women's workforce participation beyond metro cities. The median salary for women in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities has jumped 34% in 3 years. The number of women job seekers from these regions is quadrupled between 2021 and 2024. While job applications have tripled to 12.8 million in 2024. A digital revolution, expanding job opportunities and changing hiring strategies are driving this transformation, enabling women to pursue careers like never before. From sales to security services, women in smaller cities are reshaping India's job market. The report highlights that 55% of job applications are in sales, business development, administration, and customer support. But women aren't stopping there. Many are stepping into traditionally male-dominated roles. This year, 600,000 women applied for field sales jobs, 250,000 for delivery and logistics, and 150,000 for security services. Cities like Lucknow, Jaipur, Indore, Bhopal, Surat, Nagpur, and Coimbatore have emerged as key employment hubs, accounting for 45% of total job applications. The trend is also picking up in cities like Kanpur, Ranchi, Patna, Bhubaneswar, and Chandigarh. Another major shift, fresh graduate participation is surging. The number of women freshers looking for jobs in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities has risen 2.5 times to nearly 900,000 in 2024. More young women are stepping into the workforce right after education. This isn't just a hiring trend, it's a structural shift in India's job market as digital hiring expands and companies embrace workforce diversity. Women in smaller cities are driving the next wave of India's economic growth. On this day, the data tells a powerful story. Women beyond metros are claiming their space, building careers and shaping India's future. All right, for more on this, we're now being joined by Neeti Sharma, the co-founder and president of Team Lease EdTech, live from Bengaluru. Thank you so much for joining us on WION World is One.
Thanks, Haim.
Now, to begin with, what would you say are the primary factors driving the surge in women's employment beyond metro cities from an empowerment perspective?
Yeah, so I think the report gives great insights. There has been a notable expansion in employment opportunities across sectors in smaller towns in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. So that's one. And obviously diverse sectors. So it's not just manufacturing, it's retail, it's sales, it's e-commerce, it's logistics. So everywhere I think jobs are increasing in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. And women would like to take that because it's easier to stay in the same town, do the work and still be at home with family. So it just helps them get a job, get into the employment market, but be able to balance, work as well as family. Also, secondly, as we see increasingly in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, there are a lot of more women startups actually coming up, which is creating a lot of high job employment opportunities that hire women and men equally. You mentioned some statistics and interestingly, about 55% of the job applications are actually in roles such as logistics, security services, field sales, e-commerce, delivery. So it's good that women are not only looking at traditional. So I'll be a teacher, I'll get into HR, or I'll do something which is easier for me. But they're actually getting into roles which were predominantly male, oriented. And I think the support they get from the organizations is also very high right now. Diversity actually has played a big role in creating awareness with employers that a balanced workforce works better than just having either of the two genders. So a lot of stuff happening. Needless to say, especially in the knowledge work, knowledge economy, we see a lot of employers allowing flexibility to bring in more women into the workforce, which is very good because whether you work remotely or you work hybrid, there is a balance that employers are willing to provide to not just women employees but male employees. But more and more women can partake and get into the labor workforce because they have these kind of facilities. And you called out of the report in terms of digital accessibility. Yes, awareness and opportunities coming to tier 2, tier 3 towns has been on the rise. And it's a good sign because we don't need to bring everybody into the tier 1 cities for jobs,
Okay.
and clutter the large cities, right? Which has been happening for the last few decades.
Right. That being said, what structural changes do we need to further accelerate workforce participation for women, especially in smaller cities? You mentioned how some of the employers, they now are allowing some flexibility, so to allow for greater participation of women. What other structural changes do you think are required?
So I think first and foremost, I would call out safety. Because even today, whether it's tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 cities, women are wary of, taking up jobs which are probably later in the evening. So safety measures are very important. Obviously, infrastructure to ensure that there is improved public transportation, there is secure workplaces, awareness for women and men, that safety is critical, and the fact that these opportunities can be taken by women equally. uh, of course, the law ensures that every organization has a creche facility that women can actually avail, bring their child close to office, to get them to get out of homes and work. A lot of those infrastructure facilities are needed, but over and above that, a lot of programs to upskill them, bring them back to work, because we see a lot of women dropping out because of maternity breaks, childcare, timing, primary caregiving for elderly parents. So how is it that we bring these women back into active workforce is also important. Large organizations do have a lot of schemes that help women come back into workforce, but even in tier 2, tier 3 cities, these programs, these schemes are very, very critical. Awareness, like I called out, and of course supportive work policies, like I said, flexible arrangements, family friendly policies can really help retain women in workforce and support their career advancement. I'll just give you some statistics, like we are saying, and while our workforce participation in women has gone up not significantly, but few basis points for the last few years, it's about 20 to 25%. We are still lower than a large part of the global economies. So we are really at the bottom 2 or 3 when it comes to women workforce participation. So that is a problem at an entry level. But even though we have a 25% women participation at an entry level, the number of women that drop out through their career, especially at the middle levels, is so much higher that at the time that we reach the leadership positions, we are in single digits as far as talent pool is concerned. Now, that is a concern that one needs to addressing. How do I not just bring women into workforce, but ensure that there are enough policies, support, flexibility, so that we retain the women workforce in the middle, thereby ensuring that they have more leadership opportunities as they grow in their career.
Right, Ms. Sharma, thank you so much for highlighting that as well. Also want to understand, what does this trend mean for India's broader economic and business landscape?
I think it's helping India in a big way. Obviously, the first for employer is they're starting to see this as a diverse talent pool, so they don't have to look at a very limited pool for any kind of jobs, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's delivery, whether it's retail, whether of course it's traditional sectors that women have been continuing to work on. Economic growth in tier 2, tier 3 cities, when a woman earns a salary alongside her spouse or her other male family members, the economic growth for the family thereby increases, which would mean higher spending powers, which by default would mean better economic growth for the cities and the country. The fact that there are more and more women coming into active workforce would also mean empowerment and financial independence for these women. So they have a choice to make on what they want to do in their lives and their careers, rather than just being stuck on to, hey, I have to survive. The moment there is independence, financial independence, women will have better choices to make. They will be able to deploy these resources to train them, to educate the next generations, and thereby gradually, generation after generation, we will definitely see a lot of improvement and economic growth for sure in these cities.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on World Business Watch with your insights on this. Also, wishing you a very happy Women's Day.
Thank you, him, and happy Women's Day to you and all the women in the world. Thank you.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.